But the second reason this Asbury revival is good is because we are living in a broken culture. So I want to share a story with you real quick that just came out that really illustrates the failure of flawed thinking, that you can be half right and it can still have deadly consequences. And so this story comes from Esquire magazine. Variety is writing about it, and Esquire magazine did an interview with Evangeline Lilly, and they did this in response to comments that she made about the vax mandate. Now, Evangeline Lilly, for those who don't know, is the co-star in the Ant-Man film franchise, and she just recently is going to be in the new Ant-Man movie. And so she went on a press tour, and during that press tour, the comments that she made about the vax mandate in the past came up, and so she was asked about those things, and here's what she had to say about them. I think it's incredibly enlightening. Evangeline Lilly said in a new interview with Esquire magazine that she was well aware she'd ignite controversy by posting photos on social media from an anti-vaccine mandate rally in Washington, D.C. The Lost and Marvel star faced backlash in 2022 of January after participating in the rally when she joined in support of bodily sovereignty. And this is what she had to say. Quote, "I believe nobody should ever be forced to inject their body with anything against their will under threat of violent attack, arrest, or detention without trial, loss of employment, homelessness, starvation, loss of education, alienation from loved ones, excommunication from society, under any threat whatsoever." And Lilly wrote on Instagram at the time this. She said, quote, "This is not the way. This is not safe. This is not healthy. This is not love. I understand the world is in fear, but I don't believe that answering fear with force will fix our problems. I was pro-choice before COVID, and I am still pro-choice today." So obviously, it's really rare that Evangeline Lilly was willing to take this stand, not only as clearly a liberal, because she just said she's pro-choice, but also because she is going against what many of her peers in Hollywood as a liberal would say. Now, here's the real problem with Evangeline's argument. She's pro-choice, and she's from the My Body, My Choice crowd, and so she doesn't believe, because she is an abortionist, that she should also have to let the government tell her what to do with her body in terms of a vaccine mandate. But here's the problem and the flawed thinking here. The vax is not purposefully intended to kill. I know this will come as a surprise to some of you, but the vaccine was actually intended to try to help people fight against COVID. On the other hand, abortion does kill. Abortion is absolutely intended to kill. Now, here's one more difference here, Evangeline. Abortion does not impact your body. It impacts another's body. I know the argument, right? Like, if I have that baby, stretch marks and morning sickness and horribly inconvenient, right? And then I'll actually have to take care of somebody besides myself and actually live a selfless life. I understand that that's the argument on the other side. Here's the other argument. The one who is being dismembered in the womb is not actually you. It's that baby who is either being poisoned or dismembered in the womb. So as you can see, there's a little bit of flawed thinking here, but Lilly will go on to say this. Lilly now told Esquire that she asked herself, quote, about 600 times whether or not she should post photos from the rally. She remembered thinking to herself, I know the beast that I'm attacking. I know that I have a little pebble and there's this effing Goliath giant. If I shoot this pebble, it's gonna wake the giant. Now, here she's totally right. Going against Big Pharma does make her a David in the midst of all of the people who would be against her. And Big Pharma is certainly a Goliath. But here she's also wrong, because if there is a sense in which it's a David and Goliath scenario, it's that baby in the womb who cannot defend itself is definitely more of a David going against a Goliath, people like Planned Parenthood who are willing and wishing to attack that baby. So that's the real David and Goliath scenario. And just one last thing that she said that I think is important to know. I just wanted people out there who were struggling because they were under severe pressure to do something they didn't want to do, to know that they weren't alone, and to know that there were people who actually felt that they had a right to say no. And so, of course, you probably know where I'm going here. In the same way that those little babies who can't say no, don't dismember me in the womb, don't inject poison into my body, don't suck me out with a vacuum, they can't say no. So somebody has to speak up for them. And end result of not doing so is obviously very deadly. But this is the kind of thinking that Evangeline Lilly gives us too. It's a deadly kind of thinking to be half right, to be pro-choice, which means you're against vax mandates and also for abortion, just doesn't cohere in a logical and rational world. But that's what we're seeing. We're seeing more and more and more people who cannot think logically and conclusively about things that are right in front of our face. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.